구원해준 나의 천사 나의 세상 난 이상 새 고향이 널 만나러
The clock had already slipped past one, the city outside heavy with silence, when John Jungkook entered the tattoo shop. Infamous and untouchable, he moved with an aura that shifted the air itself. His eyes, dark and steady, landed instantly on YM. She was bent over another client, needle humming against skin. When his presence pulled her gaze upward, for a fleeting second their eyes locked, her breath stuttering. She quickly looked back down, pretending the curve of his stare did not unnerve her. Instead, Jungkook lowered himself onto the couch, sprawling carelessly, legs wide, head leaned back in unbothered command. The leather squeaked under him. Every angle of his body seemed a challenge, as though the entire room bent to his presence. A staff member leaned toward YN, whispering with a sly grin. He wants you. YN blinked, confused. I mean, he wants you to tattoo him. She clarified, teasing lilt in her voice. YN mouthed back, though her lips betrayed a small smile. Every time Jungkook chose her hands, her heart waged war against her composure. She prayed silently to be spared from him, yet he returned again and again. Each stare he leveled at her chipped away at her resolve, unraveling her piece by piece. When her client finally left, silence reclaimed the shop. Wayan's gaze drifted across the room and landed on Jungkook, as if he had been waiting only for that moment. He rose at hers and walked toward her with deliberate steps. Without a word, he sat in the chair, his posture calm yet commanding, eyes lifting to meet hers. "Do you have a design in mind?" she asked, her voice steady. Jungkook did not even blink before answering. "Straight to business, huh?" he murmured, tone edged with something playful. Maya looked away, trying to shield herself from the weight of his gaze. Then his voice returned, low and intent. "Don't you remember what I said last time?" She turned back, her lips curving into a small, defiant smile. With slow steps, she moved behind him, fingers sliding into his hair. It was not part of the tattoo, but a private request she had once accepted and continued to grant. Around them, a few employees lifted their heads, teasing glances sparking. Wyan silenced them with one sharp look before focusing solely on Jungkook. He leaned back under her touch, his body loosening, face tilted upward. His eyes fluttered close, surrendering to the magic of her hands. When she returned to face him, Wyan steadied her voice. What kind of tattoo do you want? Her iPad glowed faintly in her hands. Stylus ready. Jungkook's answer came sharp and unhesitating. Crossed whiskers. She nodded, sketching swift, precise stroke across the skin. He never looked away. His eyes followed every motion of her hand, every pause of her breath. When she finally turned the design toward him, perfectly sized, Jungkook gave a simple approving nod. Wayan's lip curved in quiet satisfaction before she asked softly, which place? He tilted his head, tapped the side of his neck. The air thinned. Wayan's throat tightened. Memories of the last time she tattooed the other opposite side of rushing back. The heat of his skin, the closeness that nearly consumed her. Fighting her own pulse, she slipped on fresh gloves, setting out sterilized equipment with care. She shaved the fine hairs of the spot, cleaned the skin with antiseptic, and pressed the stencil against his neck. Jungkook rose slightly to inspect it in the mirror, then sat back wordless. I will start now, Wayan whispered, positioning herself close enough to feel his breath. The needle burst to life. She traced the first line carefully, the sharp sting of untouched skin, pulling a small fringe from him, though his gaze never wavered from hers. Is it hurting? Ryan asked, glancing up at his face. Jungkook's answer came low, steady. No, his dark gaze pinned her in place. Her lashes fluttered before she forced herself to focus again on the curve on his neck. She bit her lip, eyes flickering over the skin she worked on. Jungkook noticed everything, the small betrayals of her breath, her movements. His hand shifted from the armrest, brushing strands of her hair back behind her ear. She froze, needle pausing midline. Stop it, she whispered, refusing to meet his eyes, but the warmth rising in her cheeks betrayed her restraint. Jungkook saw it all, satisfaction curling his mouth. When she continued, finishing the outline, shading followed, steady and meticulous. Each wipe of antiseptic revealed the emerging shape. But every time she looked up, Jungkook was already watching her, unblinking. What kind of date do you want with me? He asked suddenly. Her eyes widened, hands hesitating just above his skin. Are you serious this time? Last time you never showed up, she murmured, his side gaze unwavering. I had to finish something then. But I'm free now. I can take you anywhere, or should I choose? Her hand faltered, needle passing once again. Slowly she looked up, voice barely above a breath. My bedroom. His lips curved into a smirk. Will you come? She asked, searching his face. Jungkook nodded once without hesitation, eyes still locked on her. Really, my neighborhood? It will not be good enough for your status, she said softly, returning to her work. He only watched her, silent, unwavering, as if she was the only thing that existed. The needle traced its final lines. The tattoo was finished.